Good morning, South Florida.
And welcome to the Brooklyn Cafe Morning Show.
Grab your coffee as we brew up the talk of the day.
From the latest scoop around town
to feel-good stories and messages of hope.
A few jokes and live calling.
Highlighting local businesses.
Discussing hot trends and news stories.
A dash of feel-good nostalgia.
I love those morning cartoons.
Keeping up with upcoming events.
Sometimes trying and delicious foods.
Weekly horoscope updates.
An occasional flying duck.
Some sparkle dust.
Don't forget my bell.
And my wand.
With our brew crew laughing on set.
So grab your coffee, your bagel, donut, or any breakfast as we get you up and ready for the rest of your day.
And don't leave us hanging. Give us a follow. Comment live or call right into the show at 888-994-4995 Studio B.
Whether it's a tip of the day or just to say good morning, we'd love to hear from you.
From Amp Media Production Studio, it's
the Brooklyn Cafe Morning Show.
Dawn, where's the snooze button?
Freddie, it's time to get up. We got a show to do. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Hang tight, guys. Pressing the snooze one more time.
And it's time to do a show.
Morning time, snooze button.
Welcome, morning. Welcome to the morning show. And yes, she's back in town.
She's back. She's
not
back
5 minutes.
In all her glory.
Not 5 minutes, and I wish I was somewhere else.
It's not that. Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. All I'm saying is, can't people clean when I'm not here? Why do I walk back to? It's like being on vacation and leaving my kids with the babysitter.
Well, all I'm telling you is that my back hurt me on.
I didn't say you.
Friday. No, you gotta listen. You gotta ask them. They leave the set the way they left the set. You got somebody at the door.
I don't know who it is. Come on in. I don't know who's at the door. I haven't been in town.
She was at the door. Well, don't look at me.
I was not here.
You create stuff, and then all of a sudden, we have to live your stuff.
Not you. I think it might be the other way around.
I didn't invite anybody.
I think it might be the other way
that I
around.
remember
you
anyway.
Notice how quiet he's gotten today, this morning. He's like, oh man, she's back.
Well, no, that's a different story. She's back is a different story.
She's back. So
Who's
happy
that?
Monday, everyone.
Sit him down. What are you leaving
Oh,
in
you
the
know what
lobby
I
for?
think it is? It might be, he's
Oh,
now
and
it is.
Vanna White is going to turn the letter. Tell him to sit there. Sure.
It's Gordon and his coach.
All right,
Oh,
come over.
I don't know what you're talking about, but okay.
You will when you'll see them in when they come in the door.
Sit here and you can sit right
So
Yeah, okay.
now you know who it
Now I
is.
know
All right, so welcome, Gordon.
Good morning, Gordon.
So happy Monday, everyone. Yes, I was in New York for the weekend for a wedding.
Yes.
And first I'm going to start off with the positive news. I need to thank you
For what?
for telling me to bring a jacket. Because if
60 degrees and rainy.
if I hadn't listened to you, I had on like my little dress, my
told
little
you, don't go
halter
like
dress
that.
with a wrap. And you said to me, absolutely not, bring a jacket. And I was thanking you from the minute I got off the plane.
You're lucky you didn't get mugged.
Until the minute I got on the plane. Because it was cold, it was rainy, a wrap would not have done me any good. And I had that jacket on and 2 sweatshirts.
And your blood
all weekend.
is very thin, so going up to New York feels like it's 30 degrees.
It said 69, but 69 and cold and rainy, it's just like soaking you to the bone.
I told you that.
But Friday night we went to theater, and apparently it's UN week. So all the dignitaries are in from all of the other countries around the world in Manhattan. And they said, do not take an Uber to the theater from Brooklyn. Take the train.
Who's they?
The concierge and our friends were like, no, you have to take the train in. Well, here's the thing. You can take you can take Dawn out of Boca, but you can't take the bougie out of Dawn. So Dawn did not bring shoes to walk through Brooklyn to catch a train, to take another train to go to theater. Dawn brought what Dawn would wear to get in a car to get dropped off in front of a theater. But no. So they got me walking, not bad, it's only 6 blocks. So I had on my shoes, my heels, and pants. And I'm walking, my heels getting caught in my pants. I'm walking. It's a 20-minute walk, 2 freaking trains. I thought of you. And it's not like you just go down, you get on a train, you got to walk the platform. You got to wait for the train, then you got to get off, you got to wait for another train. You know the deal, right? You know the deal? So we got there. You know the deal. And,
I thought you wanted to experience the train. I would have
Ew.
taken a cab. I would have done an Uber, a cab, had somebody pick me up, or a horse. I got a friend in Brooklyn. He would have taken me with a horse-drawn carriage
That would have
if
been
I had
faster.
to. Well,
So, word to the wise, no
You should have
taking
called
a
me.
train in high heels.
I
So
thought you
that's
wanted
not
to
a
get
thing.
the train experience.
So I could share it with
Urination
you.
at its best.
So I could share
Oh
it.
no.
But I did think of you because we took-
NYC trains are
Did you smell them?
our whole ecosystem.
my first
to
question was,
themselves.
is the train the same as the subway? And of course,
Yeah.
that would be. I thought maybe I was
It's
taking
a
a
whole
train
other
and not
planet
the subway.
in
The
fucking
train
subway
runs
system.
through the subway,
So I took the L train. And then we
which
had
is the cleanest line, by the way.
the L train. And then I
That's
had
saying
to
a
change
lot.
trains. And I had my choice of the A, C, or E train.
You should have taken the A.
Well, the A wasn't there. We took the E.
No,
We took the E train. Yes.
that's the oldest train.
So we took the L train to the E train, and the E train to 44th Street.
You should have taken the A, man. The A is ding dong,
And then
very nicely.
And you get there and you get off the train, and there's 2 exits out of the station.
Yeah, you follow that heat.
The heat, the smell, the whole
How'd you
thing.
like the smell? There's nothing like New
That's New
York
York, baby.
subway smell, baby.
Nothing like dawn on a train.
sewer rats.
And I'm looking at everyone's feet. No one else has high heels on but me. And I'm realizing clearly this is my issue and everyone else knows better. Anyway, the show was fantastic. We went to see Hell's Kitchen, the Alicia Keys show. Unbelievable.
And you went to Hell's Kitchen.
I felt
Do
like
you have any reason to think why they call it Hell's Kitchen?
Was I in Hell's Kitchen?
Yeah,
Where?
where
With
you
the
were
train.
at.
kitchen.
Where you were at.
Well, we were at the Schubert Theater. The theater is beautiful.
Oh, you went to
show
the
was-
Schubert. That's not too bad.
Schubert was beautiful.
That's on the brink. It's not Hell's Kitchen.
The show,
It's
the
right
show
on the
was
brink of Hell's
amazing. The
Kitchen.
music,
brink
incredible. The soundtrack,
That sounds like a
amazing.
movie, probably, actually.
I guess it was
Yeah, you're
Alicia
right.
Keys,
Like a
loosely
TV
based
show.
off Alicia Keys' story
Write
of
it down,
growing
write
up
it
in Hell's Kitchen,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yes, she did.
So, but it was a great show. And then my blisters mandated an Uber back to Brooklyn.
There's no reason you shouldn't have taken an Uber. If you have an Uber app, why do you listen to anybody?
So I'm done listening to anybody else. Just do what's in your heart. And if you know the train is not for you, then. But it was lovely. I just didn't have the right shoes on. And then it would have been quite fine. Or the right clothes.
But I told you to take pumps, and I mean something smaller, and I told you to take sneakers.
I did. I just didn't wear them.
Yeah, but you have a big purse. You could have put your sneakers on, taken them off, and put your pumps on when you got to the
I mean, I
theater.
was a city girl. Now I know better. Now I know better. You got to take the
I'm gonna
purse,
tell you,
put your
you're
shoes
lucky
in.
that Chuck is 6'4", because if you had gotten mugged on the train, I wouldn't have heard the end of it.
Because I look like me on the train going out for a
I
Saturday
would've mugged
night.
you. I would've
so
mugged you.
I'm thinking this is probably not a really good idea.
I would have
know
mugged you. I
everyone
said,
was
you're
really-
the easiest mug. I said, you ain't from here. Come here, give me all your clothes. Gotta
Exactly.
go.
And all I
It's
could
an
do
easy
was
mark.
thinking, thank God I had the jacket. At least I had a jacket on. Otherwise, I was like a strapless jumpsuit.
But I told you, you know
did.
what?
You told me to take a jacket.
I
and
told
did,
you to
so
wear
thank you for
Polar
that.
Bear Club stuff. Like Nina, I call her Eskimo. Look at the way she's dressed. Look at her. Look at her. That's how you got to go to New York.
He's been calling me that since
You
Friday.
could totally fit in New York.
Yeah? Okay, perfect.
You look
know,
like
I'm
you
in-
came
I'm
from
in-
New York. She has the hat. Now she has the big sweater, and I call her Eskimo. You wonder why? Wonder why? Then she said, man, I'm not Eskimo, I'm Nina. I said, you look like an Eskimo to me.
So that's all I can tell you. Some cool thrift stores, and they couldn't do
poor
it.
Eskimo.
I could nothing else I could do. I stayed in
Sticking,
Brooklyn
huh?
the rest of
You
the
think
time.
Sarge should make it in New York?
I
Sarge
got
can make
5
it anywhere.
nicknames.
You lived in New
I
York?
lived in New York
Where-
for
what part of New
6
York?
years.
What part in New York?
Long Island.
That's not New York.
Well, I had a job in
Long Island. You know why they call it Long Island?
Manhattan every
Because it's a
other
long
day.
way away from
Because
New
it's
York.
a long way away from New York. That's why they call it Long Island. Absolutely, 100% right. Give the man a bell.
So where the venue was at the Bourdon Lick. I'm like, what is Lick? So at the end of the night, they all looked at me. They said,
Spell
Long
that.
Island City Lick, L-I-C. I'm like, what is Bourdon Lick? Apparently, it was the acronym.
Well, it
for
could be
Long Island
L-I-C-K,
City.
Bourdon Lick
LIC.
this.
It took me all night to realize that L-I-C Lick was Long Island City.
Really? Do you know there is a Long Island City in Queens?
I think that's where I was.
That's where you were.
That's where the venue was.
Yes.
In this warehouse district that has a beautiful, magnificent view. And Chuck says to someone, see this beautiful picture of the Brooklyn Bridge? And the guy's from New York. He says, no, that would be the 59th Street Bridge. If you want to go to the Brooklyn Bridge, you got to
It's
get back
further
in the
over.
car. And you got about an hour's ride to
No,
go.
no, that's a lie. The 59th Street Bridge and the Brooklyn Bridge are parallel. So it's not an hour.
We were right on the 59th Street Bridge is where,
All right, so you got to look to the south and you'll see the Brooklyn Bridge. Did you see it?
no,
You didn't see the
I don't
Brooklyn
even
Bridge?
know which way
It must have been,
south is.
did you see the Empire State Building?
Yes, the
That's south.
Okay.
So you follow that line, you'll see the Brooklyn Bridge.
This is the Dawn's escapades.
Lord
in
have
New York.
mercy. Do you know even where you were?
No. I was in Williamsburg.
On a grid.
Yeah, it's in Queens. Williamsburg Bridge, the one that has the train that goes back and forth.
Brooklyn. I don't know. Then there was this beautiful bridge that had all these beautiful lights and new construction, and it was beautiful.
That would be the Brooklyn Bridge.
Is that the bridge that took over from Manhattan over?
Yes,
Really?
yes. And they cleaned it up for the UN.
It looks really
So
nice.
it looks really nice. They have new lights. It looks like silverish.
Yeah.
They cleaned
high tech.
the Brooklyn Bridge. It's the first time in 100 years they cleaned up that bridge. And Linda says, "Oh look, we're going just in time to see the clean bridge." I said, "Boy, the Grauberts are going to say, what the hell is that?" Because on our pictures, everything is the Brooklyn Bridge.
I was looking for it, but I
You were
got
there.
as close as the 59th Street. Is where
That's
I
the
got.
thing you were crossing across the water. Underneath was
There were a
the,
lot of bridges.
the East River Bridge, not the Hudson. That's the East River Bridge. The Hudson is on the other side of the island.
There are a lot of bridges, so I'm going to light a candle for
There
you
are
when you go.
21 bridges
Manhattan is
in
an island.
Manhattan.
So when you go
21.
in a couple weeks, I'd light a candle for you.
Have you ever seen the movie 21 Bridges?
No.
Okay, I want you to watch that movie tonight. Go to
16
Netflix.
candles, but not 21 bridges.
Watch that movie. It talks about how a guy hijacked all 21 bridges to blow up Manhattan. And it's a very good movie. That's how I know everything about Manhattan.
Manhattan's an island.
Not 'cause I lived there
that
42
landlocked
years.
state.
Have you been to Manhattan?
Yeah.
What part?
What part?
There's no
Times Square, I'm pretty sure.
Times Square. You're
Because
pretty sure?
I went there back in
You
like.
see the hookers?
Yeah.
Oh, that was
They don't
Times
have
It was a
Square.
fun
them
time. It
anymore.
was a fun time.
They don't have them anymore.
Yeah,
I
they
went
do.
there
They're
back.
undercover.
I went there back in like 2010. Like I was.
For every 10
forever ago.
hookers in
So it was
Times
like-
Square, 9 of them are cops. All right, so you remember Times Square? You remember the Javits Center
Mhm.
and the plays and the play theater? Yeah, you were in Times Square. You like it?
Yeah. I mean, from what I
How-
remember of it, it was
how
like
long were
years
you
ago. We were only there for a night. I think it was because of like a party or like.
You
a
were there
wedding.
for one night? Who the hell goes to New York for
Well,
one night?
because back then I was living up in Jersey, so we just went
You
there.
went across to the stinky state.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah. Jersey's a shithole.
Did you take the Washington Bridge or did you take, what'd you take?
I mean, I wasn't driving.
How old were you?
I was
6?
No, I was like 9 or 10.
Okay, that makes
It
sense.
was
He doesn't know
forever
where he
ago.
was.
So we leave on Friday. Plane's supposed to leave at 10. And we taxi out.
Where'd you go, to LaGuardia or to JFK?
LaGuardia. We taxi out, and the captain gets on. He says, "Well, I got some news." And I'm thinking,
That's bad news if you got out of LaGuardia.
well, this was out of Florida. The captain says, "We have to. They've shut all outbound flights heading north. We have no options."
Oh, that's in Florida.
Which is never a good thing to hear. We have no options, and everyone's like, what do you mean? What does that mean? He goes, but wait, give us a few minutes. We're going to see if we can find a workaround. But we have to go back to the terminal to get more gas.
That's because the hurricane was blaring
So the
down.
hurricane, we didn't know, right? Because I left, the hurricane was Thursday.
You didn't know? You didn't look at the map and see that
There
the
were no
course
reports in yet.
Florida was all north of us, was all nothing but hurricane. You didn't see
I
that?
didn't think it was going to New York. I thought it was going straight
No,
up.
no, it goes
So the wind,
east.
because forget that Friday when I left, there were no reports in from Thursday yet.
Well, our plant went across the street, so
I
that
left
would have been
Friday
a dead
morning.
giveaway.
I knew nothing of where anything was except thinking New York would be clear, right? So we go back, we get gas. 2 hours later, I met a nice lady sitting next to me on the plane. I introduced her daughter to somebody else's son. But by the end of the
You did the Jewish thing.
I did the whole thing that I did.
Her son is meeting your daughter?
Not my daughter, no, her daughter. But anyway, and then we got there, and that was lovely. Coming back, LaGuardia Airport is humongous.
No, it's not.
Huge.
No, it's not.
Check the comments.
No.
Can you put them up?
No. LaGuardia is the smaller airport. John F. Kennedy is the
It
big
is beautiful, though.
one. LaGuardia?
Yeah.
It's
When was
a
the last time you
freaking
were there?
armpit.
Are they already finished construction?
Yeah.
It's only been 17 years.
It's beautiful.
It's the
There's
worst.
food everywhere. You got to walk really, really far to get to wherever
do
you're
you
going.
know,
but,
let me tell you, can I tell you a scary moment? Were you on a big plane or a little plane?
to me, they're all big.
Okay. They stopped landing 747s on LaGuardia because the runway is so short they end up in the river.
Oh, that's a problem. No, it was a big
So
plane.
you keep going to LaGuardia. Go ahead. I told Linda, take LaGuardia when we get in because it's closer to Manhattan.
Let's see.
So what did she do? She says JFK. You told me it was closer to mine. I said, okay, you're right, whatever.
All right, let's see. Charlotte says, good morning, friends. Dawn is all about sneakers on a subway. In Florida, there are sneakers with spike heels. That is true, Charlotte. Williamsburg is Brooklyn. Thank you. Yes, Williamsburg is Brooklyn. So,
I thought Williamsburg was Queens.
I don't know. Anyway, that's where
It's
I
not
was.
Brooklyn.
So it was
Were
lovely.
you in Brooklyn or Queens? You were in
Brooklyn.
Long Island City.
I was in Williamsburg, Brooklyn, and then we went over to
Wait a minute. Where was the wedding?
the Brooklyn
LIC?
Lick. Yes,
that's
it was in
Queens.
Lick, Long Island City.
That's Queens.
Yes, but we took a car over there.
To
It was
where?
about 10
For
minutes
what?
To get to the wedding.
In Long Island City.
Yes.
Which was Queens.
But
oh,
I
you
was
were
staying in
in
Brooklyn.
Oh, big mistake.
I
Why
was-
would you stay in Brooklyn?
That's where they told us to stay.
Well, there's a lot of days. So how come you? Oh, because you went to see a play. Why don't you just stay in Manhattan? Listen,
Because
if
they
you're gonna
told
go to
me-
New York, you stay in
Because
Manhattan.
they told me that to get across the bridge for the wedding would have taken an hour.
Who told you that?
If I was on the other side of the
Who
bridge.
told you that?
All the theys. I had a lot of theys happening. They told me to do this. They
Why
told me
didn't
to
you
do
ask
that.
me? I would have told you. I would have. Not only would have told you, I would have had a car pick you up and take you.
So, anyway, it was lovely, and here we are. But let me tell you, we were checking in to the hotel, and one of my friends lets this lovely old lady go in front of him. She says, I have a question. He says, go ahead, go in front of me. She didn't have a question. She cut him in line to check into the hotel. So she cuts him in line to check into the hotel. Her granddaughter comes over and says, you cut my grandmother off. And he says, no, this is what happened. Then the granddaughter says, let me check in. And by the time my friend got to check in, they didn't have a room ready for him.
Your friend? Who's your friend?
My friend's husband. So
Is he from New York?
No, he's from here. Well, originally, yes, but he's from here. So he was letting this nice old lady who wasn't so nice go in front of him, and then he lost his room. So anyway,
You know what I would have done?
I was thinking about what
First
you
of
would
all,
have
when you're in New York and an old lady comes up and says, listen, honey, I don't know how long you have to live. Get to the back of the line.
done. He's like, I can't stand, my hip hurts, my knee
You know what? Go
hurts."
sit on the floor.
And she cut him off checking in
You're
to
such
the
a
hotel.
mark. Such a mark.
I'm so Florida.
You're
I
such a
know.
mark.
I am so not New York. And I'm from New York. Just not me.
Man, I'm gonna tell you, just my blood pressure is like going through the roof.
Not me.
I would have not only gotten the room, I would have told the guy, I'm gonna tell you, you give this lady the room, I'm gonna set this place on fire just on principle.
So he didn't do that. He's very quiet. And they kept saying 10 minutes, 10 minutes. Then they went to theater. And before they went to theater, the room still wasn't ready.
Anyway, that's why I don't stay in Brooklyn. That's why you don't stay in Brooklyn, you stay in Manhattan.
But
Where if there's an issue, and then you just call Three Finger Finale and it takes care of everything.
yeah, see, no one will mess with you looking like this.
So ain't nobody gonna mess you and cut in front of me. I don't care how old you are, I said hit the back of the line. You gotta go. Gotta go.
See, that's why New York is New York and Florida. Everyone is, nice and kind. And you let people
What
walk in
Florida
front
you
of
been living in?
Yes, I know. Do you know?
What is this?
I was on a Publix line, and this lady, little old lady, says, do you mind if I cut in front of you? And she had like a cleaning detergent thing. I said, no, go ahead, no problem. Sally, 5 trucks, 5 cars. I said, whoa, wait a minute. Unless you want to be under that thing, you get behind. I didn't tell you all this. She says, oh, we'll be very fast. And I just jumped in front of her. I says, you got to be kidding me. I don't care what, you get at it.
So, I know. So I was thinking of you a lot, going, Freddie,
Don't
what are
be
you
thinking
doing
about me because people say that I told you to do this news. I
You
didn't
did
tell you
tell me to
that.
bring a jacket, so I'm
I never
grateful
told you
that
to take the
bring a jacket.
subway.
No, you did not.
Are you insane? You're lucky you didn't get mugged. I'm telling you.
gotta tell
I would have
ya.
mugged you.
I've been married forever. And Chuck should know better than to put me on a subway.
Chuck should know better about a lot of things.
Right?
You shouldn't even be staying in Brooklyn.
So he said, watching me walk a half a block, he knew he was going to regret that for the rest of the weekend.
But why did he stay in Brooklyn? I don't.
Because everyone stayed in Brooklyn.
I don't care.
That's where they all told us to stay
I
was in
don't
Brooklyn.
care. I don't care.
Anyway, that's where we were.
And then the weather was bad. You know what it is to be in Brooklyn? In the rain, the fog, the cold. Smells like armpits. If I wanted to smell like armpits, I'd go into what that
Yes,
marshland
it
you guys
smells like
got over here.
garbage on every corner.
Of course.
Why?
Because that's New York, baby.
Why?
leave the
Why
garbage.
does every corner
Because
smell
you-
like garbage?
Because they go to Midtown Manhattan, they take all the garbage and they put it in Brooklyn.
But you don't see it.
You ever heard of the Brooklyn Kills? You ever heard of the Brooklyn Kills? It's the garbage dump. It's the largest garbage dump in the world.
We're standing in front of this lovely restaurant, and I'm like, it smells like garbage.
Of course.
Smells like garbage. Like every corner smells like garbage. Why?
You didn't go to Little Italy?
I didn't have time to do anything else.
Oh, you're ridiculous. You went to a play.
Yes.
You got there at 1 o'clock. You could have sent something, have a little lunch in Little Italy, and then go to the movie theater. You see, you didn't think. If you had
I
gotten
should
into
have
the
asked
city
you for
early.
an itinerary.
You know what? Never mind. I won't talk to you no
I
more.
should have asked you
That-
for an
that-
itinerary.
We're not talking no more. We're done.
Next time I go, I'm going to get the Freddie
And you know,
itinerary.
I'm really surprised at Chuck.
Why?
Because he's 6'4", he's a doctor. You would think there's a brain up there. It must have evaporated.
You know, and then last time we get home, and at 9:45, the power goes out.
Welcome to Brooklyn.
Here, the power goes
Oh,
out.
here, yes.
And
Welcome to Florida.
thank goodness.
Yeah, welcome to
and
Florida.
Thank goodness I have a generator and that kicked
Got
in.
rolling blackouts
It's
every
still
other
out.
fucking day.
I love Boynton.
My neighbors are still out of power. It's
I-
been
I
out
love-
since 10 o'clock
I love
last
Boynton.
night.
We lost power on Friday, and they sent a phone message. You don't have power, but if you need anything, any inconvenience, we'll give you anything you need. I love this. I love that. I love
Need
where I
some
live.
power.
How long was your power out?
Need some.
15 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Could use some fucking power.
That's because they had to put a new fuse in.
For the whole building.
Have you ever been to New York?
No, I haven't.
Ever?
You would love New
Never.
York.
Have you ever been out of Florida?
Yeah, I have.
Where?
Yeah. I've been to Chicago. I've been to LA.
Oh,
Yeah.
LA. Oh.
Yeah.
You like LA?
No.
The ground
And
shakes.
Colorado.
Where do you get your style
LA's
from? I
the
thought it was a little
worst.
New Yorkish.
She's from Eskimo. I mean, she's
I'm
from
I'm
Alaska.
definitely like I don't dress like a Florida.
That's
Where
like
were
a
you?
Florida look.
LA's like the worst place.
This is my Florida look.
That's your
Yeah.
She's
Florida
frozen. We could call her Frozen. Isn't that a show?
Yes.
You could be Frozen. You want to be called Frozen, or you rather be called Eskimo?
I guess. I don't know. Whichever.
I think Nate is telling us something. What you got,
What,
Nate?
Nathan? What?
Okay.
Which state did you like better than Florida?
Colorado.
You like Colorado?
Yeah, it was.
Can you breathe up there?
Yeah, of course.
It was easy?
Yeah, better than here. I'll be honest.
Really? The air is pure?
No. When you go high up, it's
It's
pure.
pure in Colorado.
You know what I mean? They're pure air, baby.
It's pure.
No. But LA's.
We may be
LA's
getting that here in
terrible.
Florida if you keep watching the TV
No, but in Colorado,
commercials.
you go outside, you get high.
There
It's in
wasn't
the
that much
air.
of that in New York. It was a little bit.
Oh, yes,
DC
there
has
is.
more.
You know why? You went to Brooklyn. Go to the Bronx and you'll see, wow. Did you go to the Bronx?
No,
Did you go to Yankee Stadium?
no.
You didn't go, did you go to Shea Stadium? Did you go anywhere?
So I get on the plane yesterday and I sit next to a guy who's in shorts and a t-shirt. You know, I'm in 2 sweatshirts, leggings, sneakers, and I've got a jacket on top of me. I'm so cold. He's in shorts and a t-shirt. And I said to him, wow, you must be from New York. You like this weather. He says, no, I'm from Florida. I came up for the game. So I guess there was a game, your game.
Friday?
Dumbass coming in.
Saturday.
T-shirts.
And I guess it was not a
Florida.
good game for him.
No, because the Jets lost.
So he was not
Let
happy.
me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question from my heart. You went on the subway and you talked to somebody?
No.
So where did you see this guy?
In the airplane next to me yesterday.
Oh, okay. I thought you were on the subway and told
Yeah,
the
don't
guy,
talk to
yo, what
nobody
are you
on
doing
the
with the
subway.
shorts?
I could talk to people.
Why didn't you take a
Don't.
picture of you in the subway?
I
'Cause
did.
somebody-
Should I send it to you? I'll
Yes.
send
I
it
want to
over.
post. I want to make a poster out of it.
Yes, there's a picture of me on
You're
the
like
subway.
the Smurf of New York.
I gotta tell you. And then the theater was amazing. We were right across the street from Sardi's and right next to Junior's.
Oh, wait a minute. You didn't go to those 2 places? You should have gotten a cheesecake from Junior's and had dinner at Sardi's.
I know.
You didn't go?
No.
What is wrong
Because
with
there was
you?
a cocktail party back for the wedding.
Who cares?
So we left the theater and went back to the cocktail party. I know, literally it was from like here to where Gordon is where I was next to Sardi's.
So you went there to the cocktail party and you had a wiener and a blanket
I didn't
instead
have
of going to
anything, actually.
Sardi's.
I didn't have anything.
You could have even had food and taken it back to, what did you say, in Brooklyn? That room. They had a fridge? No, of course not.
Yes.
It did? Did it work?
Let me tell you let me tell you the price of a hotel room in New York.
Freddie's got like nothing good to say.
Not in
about
Brooklyn. If you think I'm gonna pay $700 a night in Brooklyn,
Did it
you're out of
work?
your- you're out of your mind. Did the fridge work?
It was $700 a night.
I know what you paid. I know where you stayed. Rip off city.
But we got umbrellas, so it was all good. Because they had
$700
umbrellas for every
umbrella.
$700 umbrella.
I could have put you in Midtown Manhattan for $294 a night
Yeah, no, that's not what. Yeah.
on the 8th floor of a spanking hotel.
So Aaron and Ashley, they went. They didn't stay at our hotel. They stayed at another one
Where? In Brooklyn?
somewhere in Brooklyn, and they said their room was so small that the shelf. And Ashley's about 5'4".
He
She's not
slept
really
on the
tall.
shelf.
There's a shelf above the sink. So
He
she
slept on
said,
the shelf.
When you go to even just brush your teeth, you can't bend over into the sink because your head hit the shelf above the sink. What is it with New York?
No, that's not New York. You guys don't know how to book a room.
So
That's ridiculous.
She said it was ridiculous. I know. What can I say?
But who the hell told you to stay in Brooklyn? When you go to New York, you don't stay in Brooklyn. You stay in Manhattan. It's like me going to New York. And you imagine I take Linda to the Bronx? I said, oh, let's stay at the Bronx Hotel. Which one? Oh, the one by Yankee Stadium.
I thought you wanted to stay at the Howard Johnson.
No, I'm not in New York. I was only kidding. I wouldn't stay in no Howard Johnson.
Do they still have those?
I don't know. I ain't going
They
to
got
New York.
good ice cream though.
Well, you can go eat all the ice cream you want. There's other places that have ice cream. I don't know what the hell you're doing over there. All the action is here, and you went over there.
I know.
And then you come to see a play, and the two juniors. You guys know juniors?
Juniors and Sardi's. I'm like,
You know juniors?
this was God's test
think so.
to me of what I was going to do.
is the numero uno cheesecake in New York City. They had one here in Meisner. We did an all-day show there. The best. And Sardi's, you know Sardi's? That's an icon. That's been around since before we were born. And you didn't go to either one of those.
I know.
Then everything you got, you deserved.
So I'm gonna have to go back and do it. a
Go
little
back. No,
differently.
don't go back. You get mugged.
I'm going back for
They're
another
gonna take
wedding.
your shoes.
I
They're
gotta-
gonna. Do you know the number one thing they steal in the subway is sneakers and shoes?
But they had to have
and you
sneakers
had
on.
your high pumps.
I have my high bumps on.
You're lucky. You're lucky they didn't take your shoes.
I
Did you get a
guess so.
seat on the subway, or did you have to stand? You had to stand. You had to stand by the door or by the pole.
By the pole,
No,
and then I had
no,
to touch
no.
the pole that everybody else
Yeah,
touched.
yeah. Oh, no,
my
don't touch
gosh.
me. Ouch, it burns.
I had to touch the pole that everyone else touched. I did get a seat on the E train after we got off of the L train.
Do
and then I
you
got a
know
seat on
that the
E-train.
creation of COVID came out of the New York subway system? That's where
course it
COVID
did.
came from. Because it's a
Oh
giant,
my God.
it's a giant
Petri dish.
petri dish.
Yeah, 100%.
The whole ecosystem.
And you can see it. You can see it. There's no
How'd you like the
Unto
smell? When you were walking down, did you get the aroma?
walking
Sentient
down the
being.
stairs.
Yeah.
So we're walking down to where the station is, and Chuck's like, "Look, there's the station." I feel like I was at Hogwarts. You know, it looks like this little station that you're going down. I'm thinking, you've
try
got to
walking
be
into a
kidding
wall.
me. But as I'm walking down the stairs in my high heels, not one flight, but 2, 3 flights of stairs. I'm like, oh.
You know
my
there was
God.
no escalator?
No escalator.
You gotta walk.
And then there was an elevator, but. I
Well,
was-
don't take the
no, I
elevator.
was not taking the elevator. 'cause
You
I
take the
mean-
elevator, you come out with bronchitis.
Exactly.
There
I'm like,
was
all right, I can either walk the
There
steps
was
of my shoes.
tuberculosis is the one train. You take the one train down, and that's tuberculosisville. You want tuberculosis not going to work? Just take the elevator down, and you have to. You're mandated. There's no stairs at 168th Street. Good luck with
I
that.
could not get in the elevator. There was no way. And Chuck knows. He goes, you were not getting in that
You
elevator.
should put a
I'm like,
blindfold on. Did you at least put a mask on in the
No.
gloves?
No, I had no idea.
Did you wear
this
a
was
mouthpiece?
thing.
A mouthpiece? No.
I never
Brass
realized
knuckles?
Nobody else had a mask on either. Why is that still a thing? Do people still get mugged in New York? Isn't that like
Yes.
old, like movie-ish?
No.
You know what? Just keep
People-
keep walking around the way you and
It's
you'll find
still a
out.
thing?
Definitely, yes.
That's just not right.
It's
No,
not right.
but it happens.
Just
You
not
have
People
to
get
have-
mugged in LA.
You have to
People
have
get
a
mugged anywhere.
you have to have a mug bag.
just give them my bag.
So you get $100 in singles, and then you throw in some fake jewelry, and you walk around. So if the guy mugs you, listen, I knew this was going to happen. You give him the bag. You say, here, this is for you. This way, neither one of us is going to miss this. I'm not going to report you or nothing else here. You had a good day, and you walk
I never
away.
thought about that.
Oh Lord, somebody shoot me, please.
You gotta set them up.
You
called a
thought
mug
about that,
bag.
Sarge? Is that real? Charlotte, is that true?
Here
Is there
you
such thing
go.
as a mug bag?
Does Charlotte live in New York City for 42 years?
She must have.
No, she must know. Did she ever get mugged? I got mugged.
You got your car stolen 3 times too.
I got my car stolen. And it was the cops that did
Same
it.
guy that stole your car 3
He was
times.
sitting right here. It was a cop. He says, oh, yeah, it was an undercover sting for 15 years, and we marked you 3 times. And he remembers me. I said, really?
God damn.
Really?
It's like we got
3 times.
we marked you 3 times. For
That's
this?
embarrassing. So what part
Where's
of you?
that car again?
You staying in Brooklyn? Where'd you stay in Queens?
No, we live in
Fucking.
Long Island? What part of Long Island?
Selden.
Stelden. Sudden?
Selden.
That's not even part of Long Island. How far away is that?
It's in the water. It's,
Train like 40 minutes.
Will you take what train?
What is
The LIE?
Yeah.
Do you know that I used to get on the LIE? I used to start at the beginning of the train. I used to go on the LIE at the beginning of the train to the end of the train, so I didn't have to, wherever the conductor was coming, you know how they say, tickets, please, tickets. I didn't want to pay. So I would go all the way to the end. And by the time we got to my stop, I got off. I never paid. He almost caught me one time.
How much is the train, by the way?
It depends on how distance you are.
How
Well,
much do
you
they-
took it. You tell me.
I actually never
I don't
paid.
know.
$3, $4?
I don't know. They go, just put your credit card there.
No, you didn't do that.
No, I think
did.
it's like $12, something like that.
I
To take a
did.
train? No, it's not $12.
How much is that?
$12? How much? It's like a lot of pennies.
I think
You
y'all,
don't know how much $12 is?
I think y'all got scammed. I think.
I don't know how much it was. They just said,
Y'all
put your
got
credit card
scammed.
there. So I put my credit card
No,
there.
you don't do that.
And
Oh, no.
so
Who
I
the
don't
hell
not-
who told you to do
Don, you
this?
gotta check your stuff. You might have got.
You
might
might be in the
You
negative.
never put your credit
You
card.
might have been
Why
skimmed,
don't you just
Dawn?
buy a
You gotta check
token?
that.
How do you buy a token?
There's a token booth with a guy behind it.
No, I put my credit card on the flat screen that says, put your credit card here, it turns green, and you go through.
Oh,
But here's
no.
the good deal is they did not charge me again when I went on the next train.
Of course not, because they charge you a round trip ticket. You must have paid $24 for a ticket when the whole damn thing is like $3. Let me see.
But I thought I don't have to pay again. This is kind of a good deal. You don't have to pay for the second train. So you kind of get like a 2-for-1 deal.
Okay, let me see.
You going to look it up?
Yeah. I need to find out. How much is it? How much
Sarge
would New York
definitely
City?
got
No.
stiffed at $12 train. Like,
The $12 train?
she definitely got stiffed. I think.
This is me from Florida going to New York. It's like,
Holy smokes! $7.49. Do you know how much it was when I used to take the train to NYU?
a quarter?
35 cents.
Wow.
30.
Oh,
Yeah, it's like
that's pretty spot on.
$7.49. So how much did you pay? Did you check your statement to make sure they didn't hack you?
It used to be a quarter.
I guess I'll have to look and see.
Nah, it used to be a quarter and a dime.
I don't know what it is.
35 cents.
So girl math, so for an extra $50, I could have taken an Uber. See that?
Wow.
Traffic is crazy. So yeah, I don't know. So anyway, it was a 2-for-1. I just paid one time and I got to go on 2 trains.
Talk
So
about
it was
inflation,
a
huh?
win-win.
Used
They
to be
gave- they gave
35
you-
cents for a train.
They
Now
gave
it's
you a round
$7.
trip
That's
ticket.
insane.
How do you know you didn't have to go back and pay again?
I didn't put the credit card down again. Unless there's like a tracker on you that says something like, there probably is tracking systems in the subway that watch people.
No, they don't do that.
I think there is.
I don't know.
There's got to be. There's like face recognition.
So did you have to walk
Face
through the
recognition.
two
my
tunnels?
No way.
Did you have
No
to
way,
join
no
trains,
way,
walk through a tunnel?
New York
Yes.
subway's got that kind of thing.
Well, I don't know. I got off one
It's like
train.
white tile and you walk through the tunnel?
Yes, and I had to find the other train.
Yeah. She was just taking a cab in. I don't get you.
So I've learned just take the Uber.
So
or
when
the
you
car
were in
service.
Manhattan, did you see any yellow cabs?
There were some yellow cabs.
So why didn't you just order that from the hotel?
Because they told me traffic would be bad.
So let me ask you a question. A guy that lives
not
there
going to
42
listen to
years
they
and they
anymore.
told you you're going to listen to them before you listen to me?
You should have told me to do that.
I didn't know what you were doing. I didn't hear that you were. I heard that you got on the train that says, "Oh, she must want to see it."
No.
Who the hell wants to see a
Who
train?
wants to see the train?
I went to
It's
Boston. I
lovely as
wanted to
is,
see
but
it.
no.
I stand there for an hour. They told me the train stopped running at 6 o'clock. I went, so I've been here for 3 hours. Nobody told me that. I was the
Oh
only
my
one on the
God.
platform. I said, boy, I'm going to have to call to myself.
Yeah, no, not even a thing. But I got another wedding in March, so now I know better. So when I go back, I'll
To
see.
New York City?
Yes. So all our friends' kids are getting married destination weddings.
Now, why are they picking New York of all places?
Well, they live in New York. And these kids lived in New York also, so it's the
Talk about
destination for me.
destination wedding.
I got another wedding in France.
Oh, there you
Wow.
go. You want to go?
Yes.
Yeah.
Never been. Ever been to France?
No, unfortunately, I did not go because my ex-wife says if you go to France, if you go to the Eiffel Tower without me, we're going to get divorced. I should have just gone. I told her I didn't
You
go.
got divorced anyway, so you could have
I
gone.
know, I should have just gone. So I went by it. I went to Toulouse where they make the trains and stuff.
So yeah, your generation, destination weddings. Because my kids are about closer to your age than your age. Where'd you get married?
I got married in New York.
In
Where?
New York.
New York.
Where?
Newark.
Islip.
Islip, Newark? New Jersey?
New York.
Islip. Islip, Long Island.
Yeah.
Oh, that's where the Rangers Islanders play.
It's
Did you
colder
like it?
there, right?
Yeah.
It's not colder.
I think
It's
it's
cold
colder
there,
in
yeah.
Islip.
No, it's not. It's the
But
same.
how could it be colder? Because New York's about this big, so it should be about the same.
New York City's not that. New York City's this big. The
New York
state
is
of
a
New
whole
York is
state.
huge.
Did you see
They just call Manhattan New York.
what's
for
happening
whatever
with,
reason.
with the storms? What happened, the devastation in North Carolina?
I heard, yes, it's
I
very
had
bad.
no idea any of this
But
until
I heard
yesterday.
that Ohio got destroyed. How can Ohio get
Asheville
destroyed?
got
This time?
destroyed.
Down in Ohio.
Really?
I said, wait a minute. It was going east. All of a sudden, Ohio's central. How did that happen? I guess the
I
thing
heard
is
Asheville got
enormous.
destroyed. Boone. I'm trying to reach Amy, and I haven't heard from her.
Boone
That's
got
where she
destroyed.
lives.
All the
Banner
roads
Oak
coming in and
destroyed.
coming out got destroyed.
But that wasn't even part of the trajectory of where it was supposed
Well,
to
this
go.
thing
What
has
happened?
a mind of its own. I hear there's 2 more headed our way. Is that true?
No, they're fish storms. There's one more headed right back into the Gulf,
We'll
Yeah.
see.
but that's
Yeah,
not
but
our
it
way.
starts out as a fish storm, and next thing you know, I'm swimming with the fishes.
No, they got 2 that are just staying out to sea, but there's one in the Gulf that they're a little concerned about. But I texted Amy, I haven't heard anything because I thought this is
The towers are gone. The towers
the cell towers,
are gone. So you have to wait.
Asheville,
Oh yeah.
Underwater.
I heard about
Yeah.
it.
Boone, and Banner Oak. The roads have washed away from the water.
Yeah. It's funny. They build these houses like in St. Pete on the water, and then they wonder why they're in the ocean.
Yeah.
If you want to live that close to the ocean,
I
hello.
got to tell you, you just the wrath of Mother Nature. There's nothing you can do. She does what she does.
Well, you know,
Yeah.
it is what it is until it
They
ain't.
say the flooding on this one, it was like of biblical proportions.
Yeah, this was bad. Well, you know, the funny thing is, weren't we in like droughts and stuff? Now we have too much water.
Yeah, we were like a dry
Drought,
season
right?
for a while.
So where the
and
hell
then
is
now
it-
it just
So let me ask
we
you,
just got swamped.
but where does all this water come from? If we were in a drought, all of a sudden we're the desert. Now we're the
Well,
ocean.
I mean, that's just because the climate is changing that drastically.
Do you know that
it's
the
where-
rainforest used
Where
to be?
it's hot is where it's fucking a desert, but where it's wet is where it's a swamp.
Do you know that the rainforest used to be an ocean? It was a body of water, and it went down, and that's why it's still rainforesty. And it's because of the rainforest that we get the sands. It's a whole cycle. And if we lose the rainforest, it would change everything in the north. We would become a giant desert.
Speaking of rainforest, let me ask you. Apparently, there's an insect indigenous to New York now.
Oh yeah.
It's black with red dots on it.
What is it?
I don't know, but apparently this is this new insect.
Who told you that? They people again?
The people that tell me they keep finding these
The people.
indigenous to New York. They're black with red dots. and-
Indigenous or invasive?
I don't know. What's the
I
difference?
don't even know
Well,
what.
invasive is it comes from another place and is not supposed to be there. Indigenous is that it is native to that
They
area.
tell me it's indigenous. It's native to that area.
Okay.
It comes from the South Bronx.
So I'm wondering,
wouldn't
they
doubt
grow
it.
their
I
own
would-
bugs in New York too.
It's a Puerto Rican bug.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Their own bugs.
It's a Puerto Rican bug.
So there was one crawling up there like, oh, it's that bug again.
Puerto Rican bug. You're lucky you didn't meet that bug in the subway.
Right? I would have saved its life and saved be
Like, hey,
free. What can I-
No, they would have
here
mugged you. You would have been saying nobody's
He'll mug
nice.
you.
He would have
That bug will
mugged you.
mug you.
He would have said, "I think those shoes are gonna fit me.
I would have been like, oh, my shoes.
Let me see. Take off your shoes. Let me see if they fit me, and then I'm gonna mug you."
Oh my
Surprised
gosh.
they
Well, I
didn't-
got like,
surprised they didn't
you
meet the
know,
10-foot rat.
blisters. Then I have to wear my other shoes. Anyway, it was a lovely weekend. It was just cold and rainy.
Actually, Don, did you see any rats in the subway?
I did not
Any
see
10-footers?
rats. You know, I'm so like, I'm so a Florida girl that the subway to me is like, this is like a movie. These are like things that you really see on TV. This actually really exists. To me, my
It's
whole
real.
world is
It's
like
real. There it
is
is.
like Disney and Universal Studios. I'm like, oh look, that looks like a backlot tour.
See you see
what?
Ratatouille
A
down
backlot.
there? See Ratatouille?
She would see a mugging
not
going
a
on.
city
She'll see a mugging going. She says, "Let me get my camera. This looks like an action movie."
You see a rat big enough to be able to mug people, and then you're like,
Tino.
oh, let me take a picture.
Tino, on Hollywood Avenue.
Wait, Nate found the insect. Let's see, Nate, what you found. Yes,
Oh.
that's
That's a
it.
beetle.
What is that?
That's a
a beetle.
beetle.
Yeah, I think that's a beetle.
It's a type of beetle. Yeah.
Apparently, it's new to New York.
It's not new to
It's
New
going to
York.
take over New York. Him and Will Smith are going to take over New York.
That's because actually that might
Men in
be
Black
Together?
4.
Men in Black 4. The
Men in
Beetle
Black
and Will
5,
Smith.
actually.
that actually might be the mayor because he's going to jail. Do you know that I met when I went to Chicago to the DNC? I met the mayor of New York City.
Oh no.
And Jeff goes up to him and says, "Oh, this is a fellow New Yorker. He knows Sweela from the Guardian Angels. And him and Sweela don't even get along. I don't know why he brought that up." And he went on and on and on. And the mayor goes, "I don't want to talk to you." Exit stage right.
So I get home yesterday and I order groceries. And there's a blue sticky note on my groceries. And it says, "In this difficult moment of my life, your order helped my family. Thank you very much." Look at your face.
Oh my god.
Right? So the lady who
Now I
delivered
have to
from
tip extra.
Instacart. So what did I do? I know you're going to say sucker.
I didn't tip her shit.
So I added
Like,
more to
nope.
the tip, and Chuck says to me, "Why did the Instacart bill have an extra amount of money charged last night?" I'm like, "Well,"
It's like, I ain't gonna
I
tip
said
you
you're
shit.
more of a tip because
Sorry,
I
bye.
figured you would from that note. You would have too, right?
Yeah, I would have.
wow.
It totally would have worked on me.
There's a mark born every day.
Would you have done that?
No.
Would you have done that,
No.
Sarge?
No.
No. See, you and me, Bethany. What
I
did I
just
tell you?
don't like when people kind of ask for tipping. If they do a good job, I always extra tip, but not when they like,
When they try to like
Bond.
tug at you, they're just
Yeah.
Tug at my heart.
So let me get this
your
right.
order meant so much.
So let me
Yes.
you go to a restaurant and you order, and you don't see the waitress or the waiter now for about 30 minutes.
Oh,
And they
that's
come
just-
over
no, that's not-
and they
not
go,
even.
"Oh, your food." And they bring over the food, it's ice cold. So you say, "Listen, this is cold, take it back." And they bring it back, now it's overdone because they overheated it. And they bring it back. Are you supposed to tip that?
I mean, you're lucky if I
Yeah.
pay for the food at that point.
Well, would you tip it?
I would. I would just tip the minimum percentage.
No, I would not.
well, my husband probably not gonna
Like,
tip it, and he's
no.
probably not gonna eat it. And
Food
just
comes out cold, then they just ruin it. And it's like, no, it's not. I'll tip that.
So I tipped $1.
There's a tip for you, Nate.
So I tipped $1, and the lady came over, and she says, "I'm really sorry. I know that you tipped me $1 because," and she fessed up, and then she started to give me her life. Something happened outside, and this is at a well-known restaurant.
Yeah, but you're a sucker for people's life stories. You feel badly for
They
them all the
fired
time.
the girl.
That's terrible.
The manager came over, and he said, "I heard what she told you. That's inappropriate," and blah, blah, blah.
Wow.
I said, "Don't worry about it." And then I was going to tip her in cash. And I said to him, "Can I tip her in cash?" He says, "No, I fire her. She's gone."
Oh my god.
Not nice. That's sad.
Well, you're the one that sent me the article about the Z's getting fired before anything.
Did you see that?
So I know somebody on Facebook, I've been following her. She's been trying to get a job as a bartender. Good looking lady and everything else. So she went to a tryout yesterday and she didn't make the cut. And she's been doing it for 15 years and she didn't make the cut. So, obviously something's not working if you can't stay in there. Something's not right. And the service got to be right.
So it was an article I was reading that said the Gen Zs cannot hold jobs. So corporate is hiring people out of college and they're realizing they're letting them go faster than any other generation they've let go because their commitment to punctuality, professionalism, consumerism, commitment to work, just showing up.
It's not there.
Just
Showing up late.
showing up dressed
inappropriate dress.
appropriately, leaving, just the commitment to being there. And it's exactly everything we've talked about.
And we know people like that were begging for a job, and when they finally got one, I says, just remember the hard times so you can hold on to the tough times. Because, JOB don't mean F-U-N. They don't mix. It's a J-O-B. You're going to go to work, you're going to go to work. You want to have fun, you wait till after or before work. It ain't the same. So they don't think that it's F-U-N anymore. It's a J-O-B, and they're this and they're that. You should hear all the crying. And I said, boy, I show her a picture. You remember when you didn't have a job and you were complaining, you had no money, couldn't pay your bills? You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about?
No, but okay.
You know, a J-O-B is a J-O-B. I mean, and if you're going to have one, do it right. If not, then what'd you do it for? For a paycheck?
It's a different generation, you think? Kathleen, you're shaking your head yes. You're young.
What exactly if I think?
I don't know, you're shaking your head.
She used to work for the bank, right?
Yeah, I used to, yeah. I mean, I feel like our generation, yeah, they maybe don't want to spend the rest of our lives like just working, because we do spend most of our time at work, so we want to like enjoy going to work, and I think that's why.
I know, but
I think it's kind of just a
Yeah, it
person.
goes
I think
like-
it's more person to person.
I mean,
as opposed
yeah.
to generational.
No, for
Like,
sure.
Ask
I
Sarge,
mean-
what's it like
Sarge, what's it like working,
going
going
to
to
school and
school,
having
and
two kids?
yeah.
Yeah, it's a hard, yeah. And I remember, like I was at school, actually going on campus, having kids, and working full time, and it was really, really hard time for me. But I was managing everything and making on time. And then once my husband hired the new employee, and he was young, like 20 years old, and I supposed to train him for whatever work on the computer at my husband's location, and he was coming late, 10 minutes late, coming from with Dunkin' Donuts, and another day, 5 minutes late, and I was like, wow, like you not even can make on time. Well, of course, he didn't work like maybe 4 months or so, but because I want to be a politician, or I want to be an actor, or I want to be this and that, and unfortunately, kids, I call them kids, even though they're just young, a couple years, they don't understand that simple job, and you can move on and get in the next step,
You have to
and
do
get better
that.
job, better position, but you have to start from the lower entry job and be responsible. And unfortunately, people don't get it.
You know, there was a speaker at Gio's graduation at Full Sail, and he came in, and he was dressed like a janitor with a bag. And he sat down, and he started to talk. And as he started to talk, inside this briefcase he was carrying, it had a tie, it had a jacket, had a pair of pants, because he was in janitor shorts, like delivering packages, like a greenie. And he was talking about, and he was the president, the CEO of a huge company. So everybody was like, what the hell is this going on, right? And he was talking about how he started as the janitor of the company. But he said that he knew his value. He knew he had it here, and that he was going to make it work one way or the other. By the time he finished his speech, he was in a suit. And he says, and these values is what you have to hold on to. Because your parents want the best for you, but they work twice as hard to send you to school. Now it's your job to work twice as hard to make sure your kids get it. And that whole thing has fallen off. So I had this conversation with Gio. And he says, you know something? I see what you're talking about now. Gio's got to be 28 now. I see what you're talking about now. Because back then, they didn't understand. Having a job, going to school, having a family, having kids, I mean, you're putting a lot of pressure on you, but you won't die if you try to survive.
Yeah.
And you make it work. And then your kids have to learn what you went through so they understand that J-O-B is not equal F-U-N. It
It's
just
tough.
doesn't. It's hard.
All right, you ready to wrap this up? We've got Lights of the Night coming.
It all depends. You're going to be screaming for the rest of the day? That's not a no.
I can't guarantee that.
Sounds like a
I'm
yes
gonna
to
be
me.
good. That's all going to be good.
Did she just say I can't guarantee
I
that?
can't guarantee that I'm going to scream. It depends on what happens in this situation. I got Gordon here. Gordon, am I going to scream? He's like, I don't know.
Gordon, say yes.
Welcome, Gordon.
How are you, Gordon?
Good.
Good?
Today's
Smile, Gordon. It's a good day. There you go. See, he knows how to do that. There you go. Give him a bell.
All right, more to come. Tune in today to Lights in the Night. And then we've got Dan Cerna coming. He's going to be doing tattoos on air. Do I or don't I? Look at his face.
I have nothing to do with this. Nothing. I didn't even invite the man in. He's more than welcome.
He's coming. I think Jalen's going to get a tattoo on air, which is kind of
She
cool.
says no. She says she wants you to do it. And I said, what?
It might not be the best week to do it. It's the Jewish holidays, and I'm not quite sure this is the best week.
Put it
of
on
all
your
the
ear
weeks to
so it
do
looks like an earring.
So nobody sees it.
It looks like an earring.
Go big or go home. Anyway, tune into the midday. Let's see what happens. Have a great morning, everyone. We'll see you in a little bit.
Don't be late.